What's up, guys? It's the next Mike Ike, and I'm coming back at you with another Warhammer 40k Tacticus video. In today's video, I want to go through all the free-to-play characters that you can grind throughout the different play modes in this game. And I would like to start by pointing out that if you go to the campaigns, right now you have your basic campaign, right? And you can, playing the basic campaign, you can grind out the characters you need to play the mirror version, which is the 3 Necron characters. Now, the other 2 game modes, the Fall of Cadia, or Cadia, however you pronounce that, and Octarius, are also grindable. These characters are grindable, and I want to show you where you can grind them. Alright, so first let's start with the Orks, because they're going to be the ones that are probably going to be the hardest to get, in that they're just going to take more time. And these ones are the ones I like to call the mission ones. And what I mean by that is you get the shards for these characters through the missions. So if we go to missions, you'll see the first one that you can get is by just completing missions. You'll level this up, and every time you get to the next level, you'll get a chest here, and the chest will have pieces that you need for the boss. Alright, now he needs 250 shards. Every time you complete one of these chests, you're going to get 10. This is going to take a little bit of time. As you can see, I got 8 shards extra. That's because you'll also get, usually you'll have a couple daily missions, and you'll get 1 shard from those daily missions too, on top of the 10 that you'll get from getting these chests. But I imagine that this character is just purely from grinds. It's probably going to take 2 weeks to a month to grind just to get this character. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but you will get him for free eventually. The next one that you need is the Killacan one, and as you can see right here, it shows it right here. You actually get him in the chest from completing your daily missions, and every daily mission you'll get every time you complete the daily mission or the daily quest mission, whatever you want to call it, you'll get 3 shards from him. So, again, it'll take a little bit of time, you know, probably looking at like 3 weeks. I think if you do the math, it's about 3 weeks, right, to grind him up. Maybe like 2.5 weeks, something like that, to grind him up, but you will eventually grind him up. And then the last one, which I actually had to remake this video because I was like, oh, it doesn't look like you can grind him for free, is actually this little guy, and he only takes 10 shards to unlock, and you actually get him just by daily logging in. Like looks like every other day you'll get some shards for him. So, I'm assuming that this is going to continue into the next week, and that you'll just keep continually getting shards for this specific character. But yes, that's where you'll get those 3 Ork characters. Now, along with that, there is, if we go to the play modes, you can actually grind characters for a 4th Ork right here. And basically, when you get enough to get, when you do these, what is this called? The salvage runs, when you'll get a couple shards of him every salvage run, and I think it's like 2 shards of him every salvage run that you do, but you will get shards for him. Now, he is not one of the characters needed to do the 2nd or the 3rd campaign, the Octarius, or the Ork campaign, you want to call it, and that's actually probably for the better, because he is a rare character. I happen to have him on this account, but he is a rare character, so you'll need 120 shards of him. So the big one that's going to hold you back on the Orks is going to be him, right? I haven't done the math. Well, I mean, there isn't math. It depends on how good you are at doing the missions. If you just keep doing the missions, you'll get 10. So if you did 25 missions, like mission chests, you get him up to level 25, you'll get enough to summon him. But you know, those missions aren't, it's not like you do 1 mission you get a chest. Like, the higher you get, the more missions you got to do. Like on my main, I'm sitting at like 180 shards of him, so I'm still a little ways away from him. And then usually there's like, you can get like 1 or 2 shards just from the missions, besides the mission chest. But I think he's the big one that's stopping you. Interesting enough, I did believe I talked about this on my purchase plan video. But if you get him and you get him, you can buy him basically for $14. If you want to jump right into that campaign, if that campaign's important to you, which I actually think it is going to be an important campaign, and we'll discuss why later. But I think one of the better characters in the game is locked behind that campaign. So you're going to want to get into the Ork campaign as soon as possible. If you're going to spend money on the game, I do believe once you get this character and this character, that spending the $14 to unlock him is probably worth it. And just remember, when you unlock the character, it's not like the shards that you've collected go away. Now you have those to level up or promote said character. Alright, so let's look at the other campaign mode, which is the easier one, I think, to unlock, and that is going to be the Chaos one. Now, you need these 3 characters here to unlock the Chaos one. And we'll go through the ways you get them. So first off, now they're more of just like the other play modes. So first off, we got Arena. Arena is where you unlock shards for this dude right here. Now I have him unlocked on this account, but that's because I got tired of re-rolling for a legendary, to be honest. And I got him, and he's actually a pretty decent character, and he is an epic, and he does cost 250 shards to unlock. So I was like, let me just keep him. And, you know, I had some shards unlocked and was able to promote him. Now, 250 shards sounds like, oh my gosh, he's going to take forever to grind. But actually, I think he's probably about a 2-week grind. And the reason I say that is when you first start, you'll be in this bottom league. Okay? The Aspirant League. And if you look, even if you're the worst player in this league, you'll get 100 shards for him at the end of the week. So you get 100 shards for him. You also, on that initial 10 pull that everybody gets in the beginning of the game that's kind of on rails except for that last hero slot, you'll get 100 shards of him as well. So right away you'll have 200 shards of him. And then every time you... Let's get back to the arena. Every time you unlock one of these arena chests, just from getting victories and stuff, you'll actually unlock some shards for him too. Now, once you're into week 2, you'll definitely move up tiers. You'll probably jump into this tier. If you see this, you start to get significantly less shards of him. But I still think, you know, by the end of 2 weeks, you'll end up getting him. And depending on when you start, like if you start it in like the middle of the week or the last day before the end of the arena week, you could have him essentially in a week, right? Because you'll get, no matter what, as long as you played like one arena battle, you'll get this chest, so you'll get the 100, and you'll have the other 100, and, you know, then you'll just need like a week, I think, to grind out the other shards for him. But anyway, so that's where you go about getting him. Alright, so next up, you have your guild raids, and your guild raids is where you're going to get the Angrak shards. Now, you get these shards when your boss, when your team defeats a boss. And this is a little tip I think I've learned from playing, especially on this account. Don't jump into a very good guild right away. So, like, and what I mean by that is, like, this is my free-to-play account, and I jumped into the guild that I have my main on, and we're, you know, not super far along, but if you look, we're in the uncommon, the top of the uncommon bosses. So this boss is really not difficult, but, you know, it's taking a longer time to grind. Whereas if you were to jump into a brand new guild and jump into these commons, these first couple bosses go down really quick, because usually it's a new guild, everybody just jumps in, everybody hits them, like, especially this guy goes down quick, but they all go down pretty quick. And my point being is that's where you're getting the shards for this guy. You don't want to be stuck in a good guild that's going to take, you know, a few days to knock down this boss, and then a few days to knock down this boss, because then it's going to take you, you know, like a week or week plus to get the 10 shards you're going to need to summon this guy. Whereas if you jump in a fresh guild, you help them beat these first couple bosses, you'll end up, I believe it's about like 2 shards you get every time you beat them. I don't know if I can look at here we go. Yeah, I think it's 2 shards no matter what level boss it is. So you're going to need to beat 5 bosses to get the 10 that you need to summon him. Unless you got, you know, some shards from him from your summons. But here's 2, here's another 2, here's another 2. These ones go down pretty quick. And then if you stick with that new guild, you know, basically stick with that guild until you've beaten these 5. Now, if you're in a new guild, it might not be a super active guild, so you might like beat these 3 and then kind of get stuck. Maybe that's when you want to jump into a more active guild. One of the nice things about this game is it doesn't have a guild cooldown. So, you can actually leave a guild and jump right into another guild, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that might be a way to go and just grind shards for this guy. Just keep jumping into new guilds, and every time you have, you know, your guild, whatever you want to call these tokens up, you just jump into a new guild and just help them beat this first one and get, you know, your 2 shards. Maybe that's the strategy. Do that until you get your 10 shards to summon him, and then go look for, you know, the guild you want to play with long term. Alright, and that brings us to the last guy that you need. And he's going to be in these Onslaught chests. As you can see, there's this picture right there. Archimedos, I don't know how you want to pronounce that. I think it's probably Archimedos. Anyway, you get shards from him from completing these chests. You get these chests by beating Onslaught. Again, this is another character I think is going to take a little bit of time to get some shards up. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a week or 2 to get the shards, but eventually you will get the shards for him. So, those are the characters that you need for both of these different campaigns, and that is where you're going to get the shards for those characters. Now, real quick, this should be fairly obvious, but you can summon, you can grind shards for other characters too. So all in this first campaign, it's all the Necrons. You can grind all 5 of the Necrons. You can grind shards. Now, for these, the first 3, you get those characters pretty quick, but these last 2 are going to take forever, especially him, because he's an epic. It's going to be a long grind to get him. And I mean, you guys know the play mode, right? Like, you only can have 10 victories a day, and you gotta, yeah, it does, here it is. You have a 33% chance to get this reward every time you battle. So on average, you're going to be looking at only 3 shards a day if you do all 10 of these. So this guy, I mean, he's 120 to summon. He's going to take a decent amount of time, and then on top of that, he's going to take much longer. But that's where you grind the Necron guys. Then, if you go into the mirror, this is where you're going to grind. You can grind her, and then then you can grind 4 of the Ultramarines. Now, if you'll notice, the one Ultramarine you can't grind is the healer, which fortunately is the common. But if you go back, now this is a rarity, I think this is only for this campaign. If you go to the second part of this campaign, you can actually grind for each of the 5 initial free-to-play characters that you get to. So there's Tigris, there's the sniper dude, there's the flying guy, there's the chick with the flamethrower, and here's the healer guy. Now, one of the things that kind of stinks is, for whatever reason, maybe it's because you can grind these in the other ones, these are limited to 7 a day, so you're really looking at like 2 shards. Now, if you notice, the healer was only limited to 10, so that's because there's not another place to grind shards for him. Okay, so that's where you grind that stuff out. Okay, go here. You can look at the bottom, and these are the characters that you're going to grind through this. So 4 of the 5 guard characters. One of the things I found pretty interesting is the character that you could buy in the beginning of the game for $5. Yarick is not here, and instead you have Celestine the Living Saint. I don't have this unlocked here, so I can't show you, but in the 4th part of this campaign, she is the boss, so you can actually grind shards for her, which I thought was kind of interesting. Then you have the mirror, and if you look at the mirror, this is where you can grind all 5 characters for the Black Legion. And then last, for now, is the Ork Campaign, and the Ork Campaign is where you grind the Black Templar. Now, remember I said unlocking this Ork Campaign was probably going to be important? Well, that's because the very first one that you can unlock, or the first level, is where you grind for this guy. And I actually think this guy is stupid good. Now, I haven't got to play with him, but I've noticed some of the better players in the game right now are using him, and it's not hard to see why when you look at his skills. First off, he's got the Gravis armor, which means, like, you're going to need armor piercing to deal with him. Okay, so it's kind of like that, the Ultramarine flying guy that you get. If you ever notice, like, if you're not dealing damage to him, like in PvP, with, like, stuff that has some armor piercing, he is a tank. And it's because of the skill. Any incoming damage has to go through armor a second time. And they also have, like, good armor. Does not apply to crits, so if you crit, you get lucky. But so he's probably going to be pretty tanky. Okay. He's got suppressive fire, which is neat. It slows down your enemy, and they can't overwatch. But this is why I think he's going to be good. Alright. So first off, this is his first ability. Deals up to 6 hits, so nice 6 hits, of blast damage to a target within 2 hexes. Any leftover hits an enemy unit within 2 hexes, prioritizing kills. Really nice. It's 6 hits, decent damage, and anything extra isn't wasted. It goes on to other enemies that are close to the enemy you're shooting at. Not only that, but it prioritizes those that it goes after. So it's not dumb. It's not random. It prioritizes basically low health enemies to deal damage. Then if you look at his passive, enemies adjacent to a target he shoots at have a 40% chance to take 1 to 3 hits of 15 bolter damage, as long as they're not obscured. So as long as basically he has line of sight to them, they'll take damage. So that combined with his once turn ability means, like, not only is he going to hit the initial target pretty hard, but he's going to have a pretty good chance of dealing extra damage to the targets next to him, which is really, really nice. I think this guy is a really, really good good unit, and I think you're going to want to get into the Ork campaign as soon as you can, so you can grind shards for this guy. But with that, guys, that's really it for grinding shards. I do want to mention, though, now we're still early in this game. This is week 2, but so far the different events we've had have basically given you the ability to grind shards for characters too. And so the first event, you actually got shards for this guy, which is the reason why some people's got sniper is like stupid OP in PvP. If you weren't there from the beginning, it's because that first event let you really sink some XP and stuff into him, and you got a bunch of shards for him. So this guy's going to be powered up pretty good. That first event let you get shards for him. Yeah, he's a free-to-play character. The arena event we just had, I didn't actually realize it until, I played it a little bit. The chest for that was actually giving you shards for this guy, which was nice. You get him for free on your initial 10 pull, but other than that, there's no place you can grind for him right now. So the fact that the event had shards that you could get for this guy was pretty cool. And then one of the coolest events going on right now, which is I think awesome for free-to-play players, is this Trial of Faith. And basically what happens is you just do the missions for this, but if you look at the missions, they're not like ridiculous. It's kind of just stuff you're going to be doing anyway. Deal 5,000 damage using abilities, win 100 campaigns, battles. Yeah, that sounds like a lot, but like if you're just playing through the game, you're going to be doing this stuff. And then you'll get these verses, and when you get the verses, eventually you'll unlock these crates. Now, every time you open one of these crates, you're going to get shards. Now, one thing I've noticed on my main is the higher the tier, so the further you get along, the more shards you're actually going to get from each of these. So in the beginning, you're only getting like 10 shards, but like I'm at the point where on my main, I'm getting like 25 shards every time I unlock a chest. Now, it gets more and more expensive to unlock these chests, so it takes longer, so probably all works out in the end. But when you get to 120, you will summon her at the common level for free. Then it just goes down to 30 shards you need, and when you get her to 30, when you get 30 more shards, she'll go to a 3-star, and then when you get, another 30 plus shards, she'll go up to rare level. And basically, as long as you keep grinding these and getting these shards for her, you can level her all the way up to a legendary. Now, I'd imagine it's going to take some currency to get her all the way up to legendary, refreshes and stuff to do it in enough time. But on my main, I already have her as a rare 5-star, and my next level up on her will be putting her into the epic level. So, as a free-to-play player, I'm not free-to-play on my main, but, I haven't put any currency specifically into this event. But I still think it's reasonable. If you had started this at the beginning of week 1, I think it's reasonable that you'll have her at least at epic level by the time the event's over, which is pretty nice. It's a free-to-play character that you can't grind shards for her anywhere, so you're just getting this character basically just for playing the game. I hope they continue with that in events. Now, I doubt they're going to be doing that with the legendaries. She, if you look at her, is just a common, but even if they go through some of the other commons that you can't grind, or even if it is a common you can grind, like a common or an uncommon that you can grind that's like hard to grind, like this guy, 50 shards for him, it's gonna take forever because you can only grind him from that one boss stage, and you're only getting like 3 shards a day max. That's gonna take a month plus to grind him out, so that kind of stinks. But if they do that, where you can kind of get these guys out, boost these guys up for free, even if they just only stick with uncommons, that's still pretty cool that you can grind out some of these characters doing the events. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm at with this. If I did miss anything, leave it in the comment sections, but I think this time, like I said, I had to redo this video. I think this time I got all the characters that are grindable. I say grindable, like obviously these characters you're not really grinding, you're just doing the missions, and you're getting a certain amount of shards for doing them. But all the characters that are free-to-play friendly, I guess, the ones that you can get just by playing the game and continually playing the game. So with that, guys, as always, thank you for watching the videos. If you like my content, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to leave me a comment, awesome. One last time, I will shield for my guild here. I am running a guild. I do need some players right now. I just have a bunch of guys that are, just regular players. But if you're a subscriber to my channel and you're going to be playing this game and you want to get in a guild with other, other like-minded individuals, reach out to me on YouTube, send me a PM, and I will definitely make sure I get you into this guild. I'll make room and get you into this guild. And with that, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.